Hello all, and welcome back to the channel. We've got a very exciting video for you today. We're looking at the sensation from Liverpool, Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Now, Pimblett seems poised to be the next big thing in the UFC, with staggering traction on social media following his debut. In his own words, he produces the Marmite effect. You either love to watch him, or you hate him and you want to see him lose. If you watch Pimblett walk out just one time, you'll understand what I mean. His demeanour is focused, but it's also very hyped and energetic. He's at one with the crowd. He loves the people and the people love him. And he's there to do something that he loves, and that's to fight. Pimblett has an infectious personality. It's as if he's built for the big stage, built for the lights. But at the same time, he has his feet firmly on the ground, like you could be at the pub having a beer with him. And there's little quirks to his gimmick and his personality. You've got the hair, he's got the orange shorts that he always wears in his fights, pre-UFC. And them shorts, they're almost like a homage to the legend, the Gracie killer, Sakuraba, who also used to wear a very similar pair of shorts. And it's quite fitting really, because just like Sakuraba, Pimblett's a very dangerous threat on the ground. Even though Pimblett is only 26 years of age, he's very experienced for his age. He's currently got a record of 17-3, and he actually won the Cage Warriors world title, which is the world title that Conor McGregor won. But he won that world title at 21 years of age, a very tender age. What was really incredible about this time of Pimblett's life is that he actually got offered a chance on a UFC Liverpool card. Now, can you imagine a boy from Liverpool, he gets offered the chance, but he had the self-awareness at 21 years old to realise he was a little bit too green for the opportunity. So he turned the UFC down, and that gave him the chance to grow a bit older and face things like losses and mental health struggles and potentially career-ending injuries that he had to overcome. And this is when Paddy Pimblett learned the true meaning of hardship and growing as a fighter. And just think it's amazing that he had the maturity at 21 to realise he wanted to go into the UFC when he was ready and he felt like he could be the best in the world. And I think that's a very special point, the fact that now he's in the UFC and he's there to become the best in the world. To have that self-confidence and self-belief and self-awareness and humility. Pimblett is a very exciting and skilled fighter. Now, first of all, he has a BJJ black belt, and that means that he's very skilled on the ground, he's very dangerous on his back, he's always attacking submissions, and he's always providing his opponent something to think about when he's on the bottom. He even has victories by flying triangle, 2 of them. And during his career, he's exhibited some great judo throws, and he's great in scrambles and transitions, very dangerous on the ground. And on the feet, he's looking to exchange and be exciting. He's known for having a granite chin, and he can afford to attack with reckless abandonment because, as we previously mentioned, he's not scared to go back to the ground. So that leads him to take risks and be in positions that other fighters that didn't want to be on the ground might not let themselves get into. It's a very unique and interesting style. It's great to watch. As I said earlier, he's got a great chin and a big heart. Now let's take a look at some of the finer points. Now, Pimblett has a fantastic lead leg. He's got great dexterity off that lead leg. And because he stands in the orthodox stance, the left leg is his lead leg. So, we can sometimes see him bounce in with his rear leg supporting, and he stabs the front kick into the body, covering that little bit of distance. He also likes to land the lead leg to the inside of the leg, and he lands this at a very high percentage. And this destabilises the base of the puncher that's trying to attack him. He also lands the lead leg to the head very beautifully with no switch before the kick. This shows fantastic leg strength that he doesn't have to do the switch first. Same thing with the body. He also lands it to the body very well. And he usually does this when the opponent is punching and the ribs of the opponent are completely exposed. This shows great timing. Now, the most impressive thing about this lead leg dexterity is that when he moves his leg, into the chamber position, it could be any of the attacks that are then coming. He could come with the stab to the body, he could bring it up top, and the opponent can't defend all of these attacks because it's impossible. And that's all because there's no telegraph on the kick that he's doing. There's no switch step. And if he does switch step, he always throws out a jab or a feint off his lead hand to occupy the opponent before he throws. Absolutely wonderful technique. Another thing that Pimblett does very well is he has a great understanding of range. And what I mean by this is that he's doing things in certain ranges to get ahead of his opponent in that same position. Little subtle things. Here he follows his man up from the ground and throws a punch. And they end up in a standing grappling position where they're kind of chest to chest. He then lands the knee to the body, which brings the hands of the opponents down. And then straight off a frame, he throws an elbow, which glances right across the opponent's head while his hands are still down, thinking about the knees. And this all happens very quickly, and it actually results in a fight-ending cut. Beautiful sequence. Another example, and we see here in the clip, he is under fire from the opponent. The opponent's got very good and strong forward momentum. Pimblett takes a backward step. The opponent comes into the space created that Pimblett has made for him, and Pimblett's there waiting for him and hits him with a beautiful counter left hook. A third example I wanted to show you is actually the finishing sequence from his UFC debut. Now, Pimblett bounces in, and realising his opponent wants to counter him with hands, with his head down, shots over the top, he actually meets the opponent with a right uppercut. As the opponent wheels off from being hurt, he lands the hook with a wider arc to meet the opponent as he circles round to the opponent's left. As the two fighters then circle back into the centre, Pimblett shortens the arc of the hook this time, based on where his opponent now is at. The two fighters come into the centre, and as Pimblett approaches him, he notices the opponent tries to shell up with a tight forearm guard in anticipation of Pimblett's attack. So what does Pimblett do? Live in real time, in the moment, he throws a jumping knee, trying to split the guard through the middle. Beautiful awareness in the moment as the fight's going on. This jumping knee puts him in a position to use momentum to overwhelm the opponent and land some very hurtful and damaging shots. The momentum from the jumping knee actually sends Pimblett too far into the opponent, and Pimblett again in the moment realises that he needs more space to make sure the punches land on the end of the punches. So he pauses, adjusts, and then throws the finishing sequence. Very high level stuff, and it can sometimes look wild, but there's all these little adjustments that are happening live in real time, and that's why it is so high level. Now, Paddy Pimblett is an enigma. Now, what do we mean by that? What I mean by that is he has the it factor. He has the it factor that fighters such as Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather had. And this isn't to say that he is trying to be like Conor McGregor or like Floyd Mayweather. The commonality between these fighters is the unwavering confidence and the effect that unwavering confidence has on the viewer of the fighter. The unwavering confidence to some people inspires them and motivates them in their own life, and they start to get they want to make changes in their life because of the inspiration that this fighter is providing. Other people, they see that confidence and it makes them feel very uncomfortable about themselves, and it makes them question and doubt themselves, and they become quote unquote haters because they just want to tear down what that person's doing and believe it's not possible. Paddy Pimblett has this, and it's that element of it that is going to make people tune in every time, either because they love him and they can't get enough of him, or because they want to see him lose and get knocked out. When Pimblett says things like there are no ifs, buts or maybes, just absolutes, it displays a staggering degree of self-belief that he can talk about such a volatile sport such as fighting in that way. Absolute. How can he go into the octagon believing he's going to win, or knowing he's going to win, or there's no space in his mind for anything other than him winning? That's something very, very special. He even says in other interviews that at times when he has gone in nervous and he hasn't had that knowing, that he just lost, and it's that self-belief that actually drives him to manifest what he's seeing in his mind. We can't wait to see the journey to Anfield unfold. Now, we're going to pose a question to you this week, guys. Because of the effect that Paddy Pimblett's debut has had, who had the best debut ever in UFC history? Was it Anderson Silva? Was it Brock Lesnar? Was it Conor McGregor? Was it Michael Chandler or Justin Gaethje? Let us know down in the comments who you think had the most impact in their first fight in the UFC. Thanks for joining us again this week, guys. As always, I'm going to ask you to like the video, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to support what we're doing. We really appreciate it. Take care. Have a great day.